100 years later came the Tao Chiao. That's the Taoist religion. These were people seeking immortality and good health. Strictly, solely, that's all they cared about. The Tao Chi cared that we all return to live in a sacred universe as a family. And this separation we see in Tai Chi. Tai Chi originated from the Taoists. There's the legendary Tai Chi, which is Tai Chi that began and developed from women's sacred dances. Women use their sacred bodies to dance the magic into the earth. The hula, the belly dancers, all of these were sacred female dances only done on sacred days. They took these moves from the magic female body, plus animal movements from their relatives in the animal world, and from the self-defense moves they used when they were hunting the wild pig or the bear. And they put this all together, and they developed Tai Chi to reflect the sacred world they lived in, and to reflect this journey you have to make through a sacred female world. That's why the Tai Chi moves from these, the Tao Chi, tell a story from the day the man is born through the 3 sacred doorways till the day he dies. The women in the Tai Chi class are the goddesses dancing the ancient magic with their magic bodies that surround these men as they make their journey. Women are the Tao, and that's what the men in Tai Chi are seeking, is the sacred female. Okay, now the Tao Chiao Tai Chi is the documented Tai Chi. It's concerned only with good health and long life. Now, I am Tao Chian, the Taoist of Lao Tzu and the Tao Te Ching, concerned with the sacred journey. So everything I say about Tai Chi or what's coming all comes from the Tao Chia viewpoint. All right. Now, all ancient people saw there was a 5,000-year period coming called the Great Forgetting. It would be an age of possession, of greed, of seeking power over others. And this would lead to war and racism and social injustice. And it would destroy the planet Earth. They knew we had to go through this 5,000-year period. And so all of these ancient peoples developed a way to go through. For the Hopi Indians, this way is described on their Prophecy Rock in Red Rock, New Mexico. The Taoists saw what was coming, also the ancient Chinese, and they developed a way to reach this age shift, to go through, to make the transition into the new coming spiritual age. 5,000 years ago, they developed the I Ching. Now, the I Ching is a set of 64 hexagrams that describe all possible changes. Terence Matheson, the researcher, realized that these changes occur in cycles over periods of time. And he traced these 64 hexagrams movement, and he arrived at the conclusion that this last circle of 64 hexagrams ends on December 21st, 2012. Just like the Mayan calendar, just like the Tibetan calendar, the Egyptian calendar, and so forth. But we have to go through this 5,000-year period. So the I Ching was developed, and you see the two basic signs of the I Ching, the broken line and the straight line. Here again we see the Stone Age thinking, the vagina and the penis. These are the two forces that are the most sacred when joined together, and they describe all changes. Now, what these ancient people saw was amazing. That, for example, 64 methods of change. The human DNA has 64 antennae that are there to give all methods of change, just like the I Ching. Did they know that? I don't know what they knew, but it is amazing. 64 hexagrams of change, 64 antennae on the DNA. Now, if we look at the universe, what is happening now? In 1991, scientists discovered that at the center of the universe, the galaxy is a black hole. Actually, that was discovered in 1980. The Mayans described that in 5,000 years ago, that there's a black hole at the center of the galaxy. And how did they know that? They had no telescopes. The reason they knew this is they had to live with nature. All ancient peoples had to live with nature, or you died very quickly. What that means is what they noticed was the principles do not change. They're the same for the ant, for the human being, for the atom, for the elephant, for the galaxy, for the solar system. They never change the principles. That's why in Tai Chi, the principles of movements never change. If you understand the principles, you're going to learn Tai Chi much quicker. So, there's a black hole at the center of women. There must be a black hole at the center of the galaxy. And they call this black hole the cosmic mother. Now, in 1991, scientists saw a new wave of energy pouring out of this black hole. It was a band of light, the torsion waves, and they flowed through the galaxy and through the solar system and, of course, through Earth. What was this new energy? Well, we look at the Earth. The Earth has a heartbeat. It's called the Schumann resonance. And this was discovered in the late 1800s. It was always constant at 7 hertz. In fact, there was an international convention in 1958 where people decided to no longer publish this information because this constant pulse of the Earth heart was the frequency they used for telecommunications and later for secret weapon systems. And they didn't want this commonly known. But in 1991, they began to see this heart pulse, this electromagnetic pulse of the Earth was speeding up. It was reaching a higher frequency. Now, it's a holographic universe. Everything is contained in the heart. For example, if I take a cell from your body to the laboratory, I can make a whole new you because each cell contains the whole, which means each cell has its own pulse, this pulse is controlled by the pulse of the heart, this electromagnetic pulse. Our electromagnetic pulse from our heart has to adjust to the electromagnetic pulse of the earth, which adjusts to the electromagnetic pulse of the sun, which adjusts to the electromagnetic pulse of the galaxy. Now, what scientists noticed, like I say, was not only was the Earth heating up, because higher frequency causes heat. The Earth's heating up, and people worry about global warming, and they think it's coming from human pollution or so. And to me, it must be true. It must be a little coming from that. But every planet in the solar system is heating up. And not only that, with Hubble telescope, they discovered that the entire galaxy is heating up. So this band of light flowing out of the center of the universe is increasing the frequency, the vibration, the electromagnetic pulse of everything in the galaxy, including the Earth. Our job as human beings is to adjust our frequency to that of the Earth. Something is moving.